Welcome everyone and live to the virtual Daytona International Speedway. It's the PGR Lite Series Season 3 playoffs. 3 races to decide the Season 3 champion. To go along with your host here, Michael Triscaro and Steven Miles, who will be the next driver to hoist the championship here in the Lite Series. We'll get to those championship drivers in just a little bit. We are going to go over our race format here tonight as we take on Daytona in the Craftsman Trucks for 55 laps, 55% fuel here tonight. 2 sets of tires, no fast repairs, fix-it-ups, and 1 green-white checker. Here under the lights at Daytona, the sun has set and drivers rolling off pit lane for tonight's race. We're going to remove that from your screen, bring up that ticker, and bring up those qualifying spots as Matthew Baker now joins us in tonight's booth. Casey Sprinkle will start on pole. Jared Haynes will start on the outside of the front row. Mike Davenport starts third. Evan Carlbon fourth. James Waring will start in fifth. Jackson Buys in sixth. Cameron Craighead will start seventh. Sean Hilkowitz in eighth. Michael Barksdale ninth. And Terry Wilson rounds out your top 10.
11th place, you've got Asher Little, Tim White in 12th, Justin Lee Pearson, new guy, in 13th, David Flanagan, 14th, Axel Smith in 15th, Nashburn Billa, 16th, Aubrey Thompson in 17th, Josh McCullough from McCullough Motorsports in 18th, Brock Westman from PGR eSports in 19th, Quentin Steinbach 20th, Colby Cannell in 22nd, Tucker McClendon in 21st, Colby Cannell in 22nd, and Mark Vondell rounding out your 23 truck field.
Got 23 trucks here. A little bit light here as we get to the playoffs. Some drivers not making their way here to the playoffs as they have been ousted last week. So all the race winners here and a couple people on points. We'll get to the championship drivers. So like I said, in just a moment, we're going to get this green flag underway as we were a little bit late getting into here tonight. But appreciate all the viewers already lining up here in the lobby to watch tonight's playoff race from Daytona. The pace car going to dive off onto pit lane for the first time here tonight. Green flag in the air here at Daytona. Lap number 1 of 55 in the books here tonight. Jared Haynes of the Jack Shack will lead us here. Evan Carlbon to his outside. Casey Sprinkle, Jackson Buys, Mike Davenport, your top 5 as we head the exit of turn number 2. Down the backstretch we go. All the trucks 2 wide here all the way through the field. Smaller field here tonight, Baker. I'm looking forward to seeing what could be a really good race here tonight.
Yeah, everyone just 2 by 2 right now, settling in, biding their time, especially for those playoff guys. Josh McCullough being one of them, riding towards the back of the pack. But Casey Sprinkle doing what he does best, up front early, trying to get back to the lead right now. But it's Jared Haynes, Evan Carlbon leading on the front row here.
Yeah, another lap in the books. No one going 3 wide yet. Long race ahead tonight. Half the field size that we're normally used to seeing here. As Jackson Buys now enters the fray in the Micro Center Chevrolet truck up front right behind Carlbon there. And as we said, the sun is setting. Lights have come on here at Daytona. Cool track surface here tonight. 74 degrees here in Daytona. And Jared Haynes still leads here on the bottom. Casey Sprinkle, a guy that I believe really can get this championship this season. He has been up front a lot of the season. I know that's for sure. And Casey Sprinkle, McCullough Motorsports, trying to find his way to victory lane tonight. Davenport as well. He was a early winner on the season. Hasn't done much since, but Mike Davenport back up on that wheel here tonight, trying to make it to round number 2.
And as my trading paints refreshes, I'm just going to go off the timing and scoring. But you see that third lane start to form all the way back in about the 15th spot, all the way on the outside line, trying to get something moving at Daytona. And the trucks, it's a little bit of a stalemate when it comes to Talladega. But at Daytona here, once those temps run out in the middle and the bottom lanes, this third lane, as you can see, really gets rolling. And we are picking business up here early.
Yeah, business is picked up 3 wide off turn number 4. You got 3 trucks there in that sucker hole in the middle. Evan Carlbon all over the back bumper of Jared Haynes. He's going to dive back to the bottom here. And about those playoff drivers, Casey Sprinkle here, he's got nothing to lose tonight, Baker. He was the regular season champion, so he has a bye to round number 2. He's here just for fun tonight. Try to win some money in the 59, so no pressure for Sprinkle until round number 2 next week. But Jackson buys. He has 2 wins on the season. David Flanagan has 1. Josh McCullough has 2. Mike Davenport 1. Cameron Craighead has 1. Here's the drivers in on points. Nash Brambilla, he was 2nd in the points on the season. Axel Smith came in 4th. Sean Hilkowitz in 5th. And Asher Little 6th in points. So those are your 10 championship drivers. And we are going to weasel this field down here tonight. We're going to bring up those for that format as well, as long as the championship payouts. As we stay 3 wide, there goes the 58 Carl Bond to the top here. Jackson buys in the middle, and the 33, I believe, behind buys. Trying to find out who that is. It's not going to match the scoring and timing here tonight, but nonetheless, action definitely is picked up here early.
And the 58 car of Carl Bond, usually in the 78, shown in 78 in the scoring and timing, but in the 58 tonight, clears all the way down to the bottom. Jackson buys rolling up on the top side. Sean Hilkowitz in the 48. Axel Smith there in the middle line. In the 33 of Cameron Craighead, he slots down in line. And now back to 2x2 for the first 3 rows. 3 wide out back towards around the 10th position. But at the line, Evan Carbone leads with Jackson buys. He went up on that third lane early, was able to clear down to the middle line, really hasn't left since then, doing a great job there maintaining this middle line.
Yeah, and back to that playoff, how the system works. We've kind of changed it, tinkered with it each and every season here. Ooh, Carlbon's going to go all the way to the top. Ooh, we got a wreck out back. 24 is wrecking almost over. The 58 involved. Brock Westmoreland involved. I'm assuming a caution is going to fly here as multiple trucks in the back. And there is our first yellow of the night. Justin Pearson, new to PGR here tonight. Tucker McLennan, they're involved in this. We'll get back to that format here in a little bit. Baker going to go make the race call here, and Jackson buys your leader here at the line under yellow. As we come to lap number 8 of 55 here tonight, our first caution. We almost had a truck going up and over, and a big one here early, farther back in the pack. And we'll find out if any playoff drivers involved in this one. All right, here we go. First yellow here of the night. You see Carl Bond there. On the bottom, he's going to go up the racetrack. And I'm not sure if he going all the way up. And action is going to happen in the back with Tucker McClendon. And there goes Tucker McClendon. He is on his driver's side. He's going to come back to all 4 Goodyear tires, but heavy damage to the Toyota, the Tennessee Volunteer Toyota right there. Let's go back this up and get in a chopper camera here, and let's see what happens here. You see Carl Bond, there's where he goes to make his move to that middle lane, all the way up then to the top. And you see the 22 get in the wall here. Tucker's going to come down, and looks like he's going to almost net code off Flanagan. He's going to come down into Flanagan anyways. So there goes Tucker. Flanagan in the 58. That's a playoff driver.
Flanagan is not in the 58. Flanagan's in the 31. He was on the top side all the way upstairs.
These cars and giving me all a bunch of fits tonight. But there goes Aubrey Thompson. He is turned sideways. And Justin Pearson, his first race here in PGR, that's who I was referring to in the 58. And he's got some rear end damage right there from this one. So A big wreck near the back. I do not believe playoff drivers involved. So they're going to come out pretty unscathed here. I believe Josh McCullough is okay. Yes, he's okay. And as the caution came out, Jackson Byes was your leader. And I believe he's going to win the battle off pit lane with Jared Haynes and Sean Hilkowitz. As these guys come off pit lane under the yellow flag for the first time tonight here in race number 1 of the 3-race playoff. And back to that playoff breakdown. So round number 1, 10 drivers. The regular season points champ automatically advances to round number 2. That'll be Casey Sprinkle. And the remaining 9 drivers that we went over, they're all battling for the top 6 finishers of those 9 here tonight. We'll move on to next week, round number 2, where 7 drivers will do battle for the top 4 positions. So the highest finishing 4 drivers next week of those 7 will advance to the championship round. And the top 5 on the season, those drivers will receive the championship payout. So looking forward to crowning a new champion here. And Jackson Byes definitely in the hunt this season.
Yeah, just a real harmless crash. I know that, people got upside down, almost sideways, but it doesn't really hurt the truck. You'd think it would destroy the floor, but it's the way iRacing runs it. The tires land it soft, so those trucks should be okay. Just unfortunate netcode to start the night. The truck had netcode last night as well, and the McCullough race with the team event, but hopefully it's not a continuing issue, and Daytona exacerbates it. But we'll see how these next laps unfold, and hope we can see some more three-wide racing like we saw in the beginning.
Yeah, you see Jackson Byes here. A lot of young drivers here in this field. He's actually going to come down pit lane. He's going to give up that lead. Not sure exactly why. He's going to come off and top up with some more Sunoco Racing fuel. So could see something that some of us don't see right now as he comes down and into his stall to get some more fuel right here. So Jackson will give up that lead to Jared Haynes. Sean Hilkowitz now moves up to the front row. He is a playoff driver. Sprinkle, we talked about, who is already advanced to week number 2 in 3rd. Evan Carlbon, currently in 4th, and Cameron Craighead, winner at Bristol here on the season. Cameron has really excelled at the non-restrictor plate tracks and shown to be a force on the tracks like Iowa and Kansas, Bristol, where he won. So some different tracks. It's been a fun season, not just on these plate tracks like Daytona and Talladega and Baker. Hey, next week we go to Atlanta for round number 2, a track we haven't seen all season.
Yeah, it's a tough track, especially once the track temp gets elevated. Really, the drivers come out, and it's a great place to have some playoff racing. It's usually in the format for any type of league that we run to have a playoff race in the Xfinity car, or any car for that matter, in the at Atlanta. It's a lot of fun.
Trying to get some race audio here taken care of before we go green. Apologies for the race audio. Not sure why we're not hearing the race audio. No settings have changed on my end, but of course something is going on. So we'll try to get to the bottom of that. Bear with us. Thanks, Tyler Vickery, in the chat for pointing that one out. We will make sure we get that race radio back here momentarily. If we get another yellow, we'll definitely get into that. But here we go. You're just going to have to deal with me and Baker here for a little bit longer with no race audio, as Jared Haynes, Sean Hilkowitz are going to come back down to the green flag here. Pace car back on pit lane. And we'll have our second restart of the night in the restart zone. And the green flag back into there. Jared Haynes going to get a great push here from Sprinkle, as Hilkowitz, the 48 on top, looks to get the victory lane as well and book himself a spot in round number 2.
Speaking of newer events that we're looking at promoting, we got the Sunday Scaries League. We had made the official announcement today. We're releasing series info soon here, but it should be a great Sunday series that we're putting together with McCullough Motorsports and MMS Racing and Dega Pros as a joint promotion, trying to get it all broadcasted and race controls covered. So if you're looking to sponsor an event, you're looking to get your name out here, you like watching these every week, come out, sponsor the Sunday series that'll be racing. It'll be a lot of good Different tracks, different combos that we'll run. We got Kansas in the mix, Michigan in the mix. Michigan with the ARCA cars should be fun. The ARCA car is actually a ton of fun to drive outside of a super speedway race, so look out for that.
Yeah, lots actually has come together in the last couple weeks here. Like Baker said on Sunday nights, the Sunday Scaries. We have Dega Pros making a return and trying to bring a main event to our Friday nights with 40 lap races and a little bit short and sweet. We had one on Friday night, a really good race, and we'll do it again this Friday night. So a couple new formats popping up out there, and hopefully get this community back going in the right direction as we approach the 2026 PGR 500 coming up in early 2026. And build up to that event is going to be great, and these guys hopefully will all be a part of it, including our new champion will crown here in a couple weeks. And as soon as this series ends in a couple weeks, we'll go to these PGR 500 recruitment races on Monday nights. These guys will get a break until February. So these guys will extended break here, but hey, it's all going to be for a good cause of bringing the 500 to hopefully 300 entries this season, as Jared Haynes still leads down the backstretch with Cameron Craighead here on the top of the racetrack in his Race Lab Chevrolet. So Craighead has found his way to the front and still stay 2x2 now, and these drivers, we'll see if we can get some green flag stops here tonight. 55% fuel.
And a great job, everyone out here holding their own. And I love Daytona at nighttime. It's my favorite race to go to in real life, especially the truck race, because it's so aero sensitive in the trucks. Downforce matters so much in these, and they've done a pretty good job of modeling these trucks to what the real life is. It gets a little bit squirrely when you push three deep. You can push three deep pretty hard, but if you're offset just a little bit, you saw it last night. You get a little squirrely, and it pushes people out to the third lane. But they're trying to get Craighead clear, but he's not going to be able to do that. You're going to see Jared Haynes move up to the top sign. Cameron Craighead going to push him along. Casey Sprinkle going to move up on the bottom, almost lead that lap there with David Flanagan pushing.
Yeah, on the top side, we have a third lane trying to form with Evan Carlbon, but so far no more takers. He's going to sucker back here against the fence, and here comes Mike Davenport in that outside lane right behind Hilkowitz. Evan's going to stay in that third lane, cannot get down just yet. Tucker McClendon trying to make a comeback from the back of the pack here, and looking at that leaderboard here, comes across the top of your screen as Casey Sprinkle now to the lead. David Flanagan up here into the top 5. You see Quentin Steinbach right now. He is in the top 10, 10th place position. Ash Brambill, he's a driver to definitely keep an eye on as far as winning the title outside of the top 10 right now. But he's a patient driver, and you'd expect to see Nash Brambill up here before the night's end. Person in the 18th position, his first PGR race. And glad to see some new drivers coming out. We've been getting some messages and some people looking to join the PGR series and the Monday nights, Thursday nights, and excitement, like I said, for the PGR 500 and everything going on. So glad to see these coming out. We got a Casey Sprinkle and Craighead are going to come to the bottom, get in front of Jared Haynes here. Hilkowitz now will lead that top lane, but the bottom right now surging as Jared Haynes now will go up to the top, and Craighead will follow. So a lot of jockeying up here in the front couple positions tonight. And some lead changes definitely happening here early in the race. But, hey, we're going to hopefully get a longer run here and see some green flag stops before long.
Yeah, lap 17 in the books, coming to lap 18 of 55. Still a good bit of ways to go before we get to that halfway point. Should be looking at the fuel numbers here. Right around, let's look at my calculator here. It looks at about 18 laps of fuel here. Had a caution, 5 laps ago, so they're looking at about 13 more laps till they're... Oh, big block by Casey Sprinkle to the top, trying to maintain that top spot. Cameron Craighead not going to be pleased with that block, and he's going to voice his displeasure over the radio. But, yeah, it should be about 15 laps to their next stop, 13 to 15 laps, and then hopefully we get some green flag stops. You see a lot of people out back in the back half of the field ready to get out there and try and get those green flag stops in, that being Brock Westmoreland, Mike Davenport, Ashton Bill.
right now we'll go through the field here, starting in last position right now. Colby Nill is hanging out there, but everyone here in the main pack. Joshua McCullough looking to advance to round number 2. He's got some work to do, hanging out in 22nd. We talked about Justin Pearson, him and Aubrey Thompson trading spots right here in the 20th and 21st position. James Waring right now in 19th. Mark Von Dell 18th. Tucker McClendon in 17th. Nash Brambilla still hanging out back here in the 16th position. Michael Barksdale in 15th right now. Jackson Buys in 14th. Tim White in 13th. 12th, Terry Wilson. Mike Davenport in 11th. And that's your 11th through 23rd. But up front, it's Casey Sprinkle leading Craighead and Flanagan. Jared Haynes, Asher Little make up your top 5. Sean Hilkowitz, Axel Smith, Evan Karlbahn, Quentin Steinbach, and Brock Westmoreland right now you're in your top 10. So that's your field here tonight. I want to thank all these drivers for coming out and supporting this series all season long. As Casey Sprinkle now charges up to the front. He's got the lead. David Flanagan in tow of him. And we stay 2 wide, and we're ticking off the laps now here since that first yellow of the night, and closer to what could be a big green flag stop here early in this race as Casey blocks Craighead in that top lane as Flanagan now surges to the front with Asher Little and the 01 coming to his rear bumper.
Still 2x2 all the way back. Colby is rounding out this 23 truck field, but again, squirrely towards the middle of the pack. They try and break out 3 wide. Brock Westmoreland going to push along Mike Davenport there on the top lane as Casey Sprinkle clears down at the bottom. That's going to probably kill the third lane's chances even before it gets started, because once those temps cycle from the middle to the top, from the middle to the bottom, you just see them absolutely pull away. 2 fresh temps and 2 lanes puts it back down to 2 wide racing, but one steps out, Davenport goes back down. We're going to hang out 1 on the top lane, going to go all the way to the back.
Yeah, all the way to the back there. You see on the outside, we're riding on board with new driver to PGR, Justin Lee Pearson, giving him some TV time his first night out. He's going to let Hilkowitz actually in front of him. A great shot there on the onboard cam. So if you're out there, Justin's family, friends, whomever he may have given this broadcast link to, he's out here, and guess what? He's getting raced. He's going to go to that third lane. Think better of it, go back down behind Barksdale. So we'll see if Pearson can make a charge here to the front sometime tonight and see if he can give these boys a run for their money here in his first race.
Brock Westmoreland taking another peek on the outside. Just 1 truck all the way on the outside line. That is Evan Garbon dropping towards the back. But able to maintain his position. Here comes Brock again. Kind of splitting lanes. It's a little bit dangerous game to play with when you have someone behind you to try and get tucked up. But, Casey Sprinkle gets pushed up the track just a tad. But he'll save it. And the first 3 trucks, sorry to cut you off, the first 3 trucks are cleared on the bottom lane.
Now you're good. Terry Wilson has hit pit lane, so he is off the pace right now. Flanagan leads it here. 01 of Asher Little is going to go to the top lane there, right in front of Sprinkle. Here comes Jared Haynes. Evan Karlbahn still here in the top 10 trying to fight his way to the front. Asher Little is going to come down the racetrack. Brock Westmoreland to the outside. He's going to try to make that third lane work. Here it goes. Every time somebody peeks out, somebody looks to go with them, and then they go back down to the middle lane, and that just kind of hangs out someone. But luckily for Brock, the 00 of Michael Barksdale is going to let him back down. 23 laps and a 55 here tonight. We're getting closer to the halfway point as well. If you're just joining us, 1 yellow flag in the first 10 laps of the race. Since we've been green, we got a little action out back. We're going to stay green. We got 1 into the wall. We stay green. 1 off under the apron, 1 into the wall here in the back of the pack. And I believe Aubrey Thompson, trouble for the 54. And that is going to leave this race green. And a couple drivers now caution off the pace. We stay 3 wide as Barksdale looks to push Brock Westmoreland up here to the front. But these drivers probably all thinking right now, we must get to that bottom lane soon. because sooner than later they're going to have to be thinking about that green flag. Stop! And they're going to nudge Asher Little right off the racetrack. There's Casey Sprinkle. Caution is out. We will not get to that green flag. Stop as a little bit of chaos here in the front. Terry Wilson involved, Nash Brambilla, Justin Pearson, Michael Barksdale. Not sure how big it is, but a little bit damage there to Little, you see. And definitely some rubber debris flying out the back of his Goodyear tires. And yellow number 2 has flown, as we'll go back here. Actually, what we'll do really quick, we're going to try to fix that race audio, and we'll be back right back here live on the PGR eSports Network. Back here live at Daytona. Race audio has been fixed, so appreciate you guys bearing with us. And we should have some race audio now. Tyler Vickery, if you're still up there watching the race, just please confirm if you can. And we're about to get back going here. Green for the third time tonight. 2 yellows so far. Brock Westmoreland of Team PGR to Greenville, Tennessee, your new leader. Jared Haynes of the Jack Shack will be to his outside. Casey Sprinkle. And looks like Mike Davenport as well as Cameron Craighead will start here in the top 5 as the pace car again will dive off onto pit lane. Fans here coming to their feet, and we are ready to get off and running here at Daytona again. And here we go. Green flag in the air. Sprinkle right to the back bumper of Brock Westmoreland here. Great push as Haynes comes down the racetrack into the bottom lane. Davenport trying to make his way down as well. He does. That keeps David Flanagan in that outside lane. That is not working here right now as Mark Fondell tries to get in the fray. Brock will lead off turn number 2.
Well, in one of the stories, Evan Carbon, who was out there leading and led coming into pit road, had some issues on the sim. He had to go in and reset his entire rig. He had to close out of iris and come back in and didn't lose a lap. That's some high-speed internet and a really good computer to get back in, not lose a lap, and stay with the pack. I mean, he is all the way towards the back. Is maybe in the danger zone for losing the pack, but geez, just to stay on the lead lap was very impressive.
Yeah, that doesn't happen too often. You see the 58 right here, and he is back in action, pushing the 22 of Quentin Steinbach. So Evan Carlbon, fortunate for him to get back up in this one, not be down a lap right now as Brock Westmoreland stays in the lead, but he's going to have company here on that outside lane as it starts to get more energy down the backstretch. Flanagan leads it. Here goes Sprinkle, and Sprinkle now will charge ahead of turn of Aubrey Thompson, who's had some trouble here tonight, involved in a wreck. He's now up in the top 5. So comers and goers all night long, looking pretty racy out there as we get to lap number 30. So 26 laps to go. We're counting down here the rest of the night and try to find out which 6 drivers will join in the round of 2 next week.
And then a little bit of trouble on that with James Waring, Terry Wilson, Sean Hilkowitz, Evan Carbon, Quentin Steinbach. They all had to check up pretty hard in the trial. We're going to go back and take a look here. This looks like a big stack up in the middle line. Got Quentin Steinbach all out of shape down into Terry Wilson, but if they can all group back together, they can try and track this pack back down.
Okay, we see him right here on the racetrack. Evan's going to come back to the bumper of Steinbach. And Hilkowitz right there behind them, so these drivers fighting to stay in this lead pack, and it looks like they're going to try to bridge right here. They do. As Hilkowitz, he is definitely going to have to get going here to make sure he remains in that pack. With him being a playoff driver, he is last of all them at the current moment. So back up front, Brock Westmoreland still leads. He's going to go up to the middle lane here, block that run of Casey Sprinkle. It's going to check that lane up just a little bit. And remember, Atlanta next week for round number 2 in the next gen car. 2 weeks from tonight, we'll crown our champion November the 24th, where it started this season in the ARCA Menard car. So those are the last 2 weeks coming up here in this Lite Series, where we'll finally get our 3rd series champion. Like I said, we'll take a break and resume in February. As Jared Haynes now side by side with your leader, Brock Westmoreland. Mike Davenport, here he comes now into the 4th position on the bottom of the racetrack. Davenport now looking to get to victory lane as well for Team PGR. We'll see if he can stay up here with his teammate Westmoreland. Would love to push him to victory tonight and move him on the round.
I'm pretty impressed that Sean Hilkowitz is able to. It doesn't look like he's maintaining with the pack per se, but I mean, he's going 186, which means he's caught somewhat of a draft there in 19th place, going 185 right now. I think he may just be outside of the range to suck back up to these guys, but the fact that he's going that fast in the truck all by himself a feat in its own. But now you see the truck starting to push 193. He's starting to fall off the pace just a little bit more.
Okay, you see him enter turn number 2 here. Sorry, turn number 1. And Ilkowitz is trying to hang on, exit at turn 2. You can see how far down the racetrack, this backstretch, those trucks are getting smaller and smaller out of his front windshield. So Ilkowitz in a lot of trouble here with 23 laps to go, but it also could be a blessing in disguise for him if you have a big wreck here in this main pack. And I'll tell you what, I highly doubt this thing's going to go green from here on out. So as long as he doesn't lose a lap, it actually could benefit him here later in the race.
Racing's been fast and furious here up front. It's Sprinkle's been white basically the entire race. David Flanagan went up to the third lane early in the race, got a good track position, hasn't relinquished it either. But Brock Westmoreland doing a great job on the bottom. He had an unfortunate week last week, and drive-through penalty that basically sealed his fate earlier in that race, and he never could really recover to get back in and try and get a win. But nonetheless, shows that he should be a playoff driver. He's going to stay up front and try and get his PGR teammates up to the next round in the playoffs, and if not, secure himself his own win and get a little bit of cash in his pocket.
Yeah, I mean, these two up front right now leading both lanes, not in the playoffs, and they've come to play here tonight looking for that top prize money. That Sprinkle now doesn't need to win tonight, but he says, hey, screw it, I want that money too. As he's now going to push forward here side by side with Matt Westmore. As Flanagan now cycles up, 1 win on the season for both of those drivers. And the only multi-winners here this season, Josh McCullough with 2 and Jackson Buys with 2. And Jackson Buys, I'd like to point out, really actually 1 win, or would have had 3 wins, but was called for a changing lane penalty in a race he actually crossed the start-finish line first in. So Buys was that close to really winning.
Absolutely.
We got 2 of them wrecking. 2 of them wrecking the pit lane. We stay green. They're in. And, well, caution is out. 1 on pit lane, 1 through the grass. So with 20 laps to go, we're going to have our 3rd caution flag here in lane. And the 58 is in his pit stall. So is Tucker McClendon. Terry Wilson looks like he possibly was involved. For Tim White and I believe Cameron Craighead. So let's watch this one back. There they are right there. The 239 of White and the 33 of Craighead right across the infield grass. And that will catch Ilkowitz back up to the field, and that's what he was looking for here. You see McClendon already on pit lane, as was Pearson, so that will change everything here once again, and no harm, no foul here to, well, I guess Craig had involved, but just doesn't look like that much damage, so do not believe enough damage here to set Craighead back any bit. But man, some drama with a lot of the playoff drivers here tonight, and still 19 laps to go under yellow. You'll see these trucks come down pit lane, I would think, one more time to get that race fuel, and I'm not sure if they can make it. It's going to be pretty close. I think they'll be able to make it to the end here. And we'll see if we can get an interview here with one of the playoff drivers. As Casey Sprinkle would be a good one to bring up, as Sprinkle, your regular season point champion, the 59 from McCullough Motorsports. You got a copy. Casey Sprinkle, you have a copy?
Yes.
Hey, bud. Well, you're out there leading, and hey, you know what? You're already in round 2, but is that kind of your thought process tonight? You got no pressure here tonight, and just go out there, lead laps, and try to win this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to win, but if I'm not in a position, well, actually, I'm gonna try to win if I can't, or if I'm in a position to help one of my teammates, I'm gonna do that though. If I can't help my teammates, I'm definitely gonna go for the win though, because I ain't got much to lose other than my $19, so I'm feeling comfortable.
And we see you coming down pit lane here. We'll give you a second to get in your pit box here, but live on PGR eSports. Here comes Casey Sprinkle out of North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, coming down pit lane for Sunoco Racing Fuel, and he's going to get down all the way into his pit stall.
Missed my box.
And there we go. We jinxed the guy, but it's all good. He's into round number 2, taking left side tires, filling that thing up with fuel. Lose a couple spots here. Casey coming off pit lane, but how many laps can you go here tonight on a full tank of fuel?
Actually, it tells me 18.5, and I think it's around 18.5, really, so it's going to be right on the money.
Well, right on the money here tonight. You've been right on the money all season long, and we'll see you no matter what, racing for the championship for next week with the top 7 in the points. And we'll wish you good luck here the rest of the night, and we'll let you go back with your team here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
That is Casey Sprinkle, your regular season point champion. We'll bring him back down to his teammates here tonight, working with Colby Nill, Josh McCullough, Jackson Pies, and Max Dind, I believe, spotting for those guys here tonight. So that is a strong candidate right there to win the championship. And bring up a couple more drivers here when we get a second. The man currently third on the board, that's going to be Mike Davenport in the 55, a winner here on the season out of Colorado Springs. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, boss.
All right, man. Well, third position right now. You're going to line up right behind teammate Brock Westmoreland and trying to get to that championship 7 next week. Got to finish top 6 out of all the drivers here tonight, not including Casey Sprinkle, who has advanced with 17 laps to go. Mike, what's your plan here tonight? Is it just to stay up front? You're going to go for the win. What's your thought process?
Basically, yeah, trying to stay towards the front here and try and stay out of any possible issues. Nice having a teammate up here in the front. I think we're good on fuel. It might be a little tight if we had a green-white checker, but I think we'll still probably be good for that. But maybe save just a little bit and then turn it up here at the end and see if we can, one of us can win this thing.
Well, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to seeing the rest of this race here tonight. Seems like it's been pretty calm. Not too many big wrecks here tonight, but obviously anything could happen with 17 laps to go, Mike. But, hey, nonetheless, you're up here. You got a shot at advancing to next week's race and hopefully racing for that championship in a couple weeks. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mike Davenport right there on the number 55. He's had some success here in the past. We'll see if Mike Davenport can get the job done tonight and get Brock Westmoreland off to a really good start here. You see Flanagan up there in the top lane. He's now in the front as well. So long way to go here at Daytona. We'll take the green with 16 laps to go.
Yeah, and it looked like just a netcode incident. Not really a netcode, but Jared Haynes had some internet connection issues. He's blinking again there on the bottom lane. Oh, actually, it's Davenport this time, but that was Jared Haynes. And he blinked out, came back in with Graham and Craighead inside of him. And Tim White tried to give him some room, and just the chaos ensued. So no penalty on that one.
Heard it there. No penalty assessed on that yellow as the pace car dives off underneath the double yellow once again. Brock Westmoreland leads Flanagan into the restart zone. Green flag back out under the lights at Daytona, the world center of racing and the Lite Series. Who's going to move on to round number 2? 16 laps to go. We'll decide the fate of these championship drivers. As you see, Jackson Buys comes down to that bottom lane. He's got a great shot here tonight to get his 3rd victory on the season. As Aubrey Thompson now works the back fender of David Flanagan. Brock Westmoreland goes to the top. Team PGR to the front in both lanes.
Brock Westmoreland moves up to the top side like you just stated. And top line's really formed up. The bottom has the better push, and that's going to push Mike Davenport clear. And Brock Westphal, he wants it. That pushes the bottom two clear as they are rolling on the bottom side. But here comes the top. David Flanagan, great push to the back bumper of Brock Westphal.
Yeah, one driver we haven't talked about much tonight, the 97 of Axel Smith in the 7th position right now. He's now coming alive here late, and that's what some drivers do. They'll hang out in the back mid-pack, and then all of a sudden you'll see them make their way to the front. And you've seen Daniel Everard III, Dylan Jones, guys like that, Kenny McCullough, guys that like to hang around, but when the lights are brightest here, they come to the front of the field. Axel Smith making moves, so is Casey Sprinkle to the 3rd lane. We are 3 wide now at Daytona, as Josh McCullough is another one waiting in the back. Here he comes in the 05 behind his teammate. They're going to make that 3rd lane work, try to get to the front. There goes Mike Davenport in the front of his teammate, Brock Westphal. We're 3 wide at Daytona as Barksdale makes that 3rd lane, 3 drivers deep, and man, they're jockeying farther back, mid-pack on back. It's starting to go to racing here as a 4th truck now joins that 3rd lane, and it's on here at Daytona.
Josh McCullough with 15 to go. He usually goes up to the 3rd lane. That's exactly where he is, pushing Casey Sprinkle on that top lane, doing a great job with a big push to the back bumper. But you see 3 by 3 as they enter turn 3. Mike Davenport cleared to the bottom and takes it in front of Jackson Buys, leaving the middle open for Brock Westmoreland. Fresh attempts now in the middle line, but David Flanagan there getting tight and heavy. Josh McCullough, great move to get down. He doesn't care about Casey Sprinkle, and he knows it. Oh, and Casey Sprinkle is able to clear down. Josh McCullough repaves the favor, knows that they pushed each other back up to the front. They are teammates, but they did a great job there getting towards the front. Josh McCullough may look to push him to the lead because he knows if he can push Casey Sprinkle all the way to the front, doesn't matter if he wins or not. If he wins, it knocks another person out, and these guys are going to finish. He doesn't have to finish ahead of Casey Sprinkle, so he's looking to push him all the way to the front to use him as a teammate to try and get the win.
Yeah, that they are. Oh, here we go.
Oh!
Mike Davenport's going to get turned from the lead. They're fanning out. There goes the 00 Barksdale. The 59 Casey Sprinkle goes into the wall, and caution has flown. Your leader nearly getting turned there into the wall. He's going to have minimal damage, but caution with 12 to go here. And man, any second and any little move could end your hopes at a championship. And Mike Davenport saw it flashing before his eyes, but luckily for him, a great save. As we'll go back to the replay and check that one out. But wow, that was close for the number 55. Multiple drivers here involved. And we'll go back here and try to figure out what happened here with Mike Davenport. He was in front of his teammate, Brock Westmoreland. He's going to go down to that bottom lane here. We'll get a better camera view so we can show it to you guys. Yeah, not clear. Davenport, not clear to come down the racetrack. He's going to cut the nose off of Jackson Buys. They're going to stack up behind. So unfortunately, he saves it, but it looks like Davenport most likely going to be penalized. And that is a massive penalty as it comes before 10 laps to go in the race. Barksdale is going to, either self-spin or netcode there. They're stacking up behind. And there goes Sprinkle. He's going to hit the wall here. And Barksdale gets into Thompson, Evan Carlbond involved. Ooh, playoff driver Nash Brambilla. So a couple PGR drivers that are in the playoffs. Bad luck there. They got time to overcome it. That is for sure. But, man, I'll tell you, Mike Davenport here just not clear, unfortunately, to come down. I'm assuming the call will be to Davenport as we get Matthew Baker back up here in the booth to let us know. But here it is one more time. As the 55 starting to drift up the racetrack a little bit here. And I'm assuming he wanted to get down to that bottom lane here, entering turn 3. And Little gets to the back bumper of Buys. He's going to push Buys and thrust him forward into this turn. And here comes Davenport a little too late. Not clear right there. And That's going to, like I said, stack up the field. You see the flames out of the pipe of buys. They're going to all do their very best to try to save it here. But unfortunately, when Davenport comes up by Barksdale, I believe it's going to then net code Barksdale up into the wall. And then a big net code there between the 55 and 00. But definitely caused by the 55. We'll get word on that. But nonetheless, Brock Westmoreland, man, he probably wishes he was in the playoffs right now. He's done an excellent job here tonight.
Yeah, and since we are going to be within 10 laps on this restart, it will be an EOL for Mike Davenport, not a black flag hold.
So Mike Davenport, a little bit lucky there at the timing of the yellow flag. As Westmoreland leads Flanagan, Buys, Little, and Haynes. And they should be good to go here on fuel no matter what. Now I know we might have a green-white checkered, but they were already either borderline or good by a lap or two, and now saving some fuel here under yellow. Should be good to go the rest of the way. You might see some guys out back pit just in case, but we are under yellow again, and we're going to be under 10 laps to go when we get this thing fired back up here at Daytona and take you high above the speedway in the Goodyear Blimp. As the pace car lights are off, we'll take the green next time by. So Westmoreland will lead Flanagan here to the green flag as Buys and the 01 of Asher Little, along with Jared Haynes, now your top 5. Davenport, Brambill in a little bit of trouble at the moment. Casey Sprinkle, he's fine because he's going to be already moving on to next week. So, like I said, we're going to take our top 6 playoff drivers, which right now would be David Flanagan, Jackson Buys, Asher Little, Josh McCullough, and I believe would also be Cameron Craighead, Sean Hilkowitz. So, long way to go here, even with 9 laps to go and we take the green. A lot of drama here to play out, so don't go anywhere if you're watching. We are ready to get back to racing here, and there goes the pace car one more time, and Brock Westmoreland will get him refired up here in the restart zone. Jackson Buys doing his best to keep that 4 up front. David Flanagan's going to work that middle lane here with Asher Little. Josh McCullough has now gotten into the top 6. He has really come on here late in the race. Work to do for Davenport and Brambilla.
So Davenport will get a black. It was outside of the 10 laps that it occurred, so he will get a black flag.
So black flag hold for Davenport outside 10 laps. So correction there from race control. We'll stay tuned why Davenport's going to serve his penalty. We'll bring up that track map. It's going to be very important right now that Mike Davenport gets that penalty served here and stays either on the lead lap or the first car a lap down. So bring up the track map. You see the 55 on as the leaders now halfway down the backstretch.
Oh, Flanagan split Brock Westmoreland when he came up to the top, pushes him all the way to the back. He was having such a great run. Now he's going to have to recover and try and get back up to the front. Just a bad day there for Brock Westmoreland. You know, he had a great day going, and it just turned to worse from Flanagan with the big split.
Yeah, big split there in Davenport. Probably not seeing what's going on the racetrack there, man. That was close to him having a perfectly served timing penalty there. We stay 2 wide. It's going to be 3 wide farther back. Carl Bond and Steinbach trying to make that third lane work. Man, Brock Westman from the lead all the way to the back of this pack. As now Jackson Buys will duke it out with fellow playoff driver David Flanagan up here in front. Davenport is going to need a caution flag as he is now down a lap.
Being the only car a lap down, though, he's in a good position to grab that lucky dog spot as these leaders battle it out. But unfortunate for Mike Davenport here. Really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. But, you know, we talked about this a little bit earlier. God only knows we could have a really big wreck with a lot of these championship drivers, and then that penalty ends up helping, and we'll find out. We have a car almost up in the wall. That's Brambilla. He's going to keep it off the wall as he looks to push Aubrey Thompson. Truck's going to slide up. He cannot go down now. That's Cameron Craighead. He's also fighting for his playoff hopes here as Brambilla and him side by side. As Buys now to the middle, Flanagan to the bottom. We stay 3 wide and 2 trucks making that lane work in the outside. Brambilla pushing Thompson hard. He's a non-playoff driver, but if Brambilla can keep pushing him to the front, that should be good enough to get Brambilla in. It's going to be a close one. It's going to come down all the way to the last lap. 3 wide in the tri-oval. Flanagan's going to lead this lap. 5 laps to go at Daytona.
Almost wrecking there. They are squirrely, all 3 wide. Great racing. 5 to go here. David Flanagan doing a great job leading that bottom lane, but Jackson Buys leading the middle. All the way on the top side. Who's that getting a big push? Oh my goodness. Huge push on the top side. They're going to rock it to the front. Clear down to the middle.
Yeah, clear down to the middle all the way to the bottom. Aubrey Thompson trying to upset the party here tonight. But here comes Nash Brambilla. What it matters most, Team PGR driver here in the middle. He's duking it out, but a big push to Aubrey Thompson's rear bumper from Flanagan. All these drivers racing hard now. 3 wide. You got Craighead in the 3rd lane. Hilkowitz has a lot of room to make up. He's at the rear of this main pack. He's got to make the playoffs. Josh McCullough on the fringe as well. This is going to be a fight till the very end.
3 wide all the way back to the very back of this pack with Brock Westmoreland picking up the tail of that 3rd lane, but they are just jostling for position. Aubrey Thompson doing a great job managing the lanes back and forth. A big entry in here for the Lite Series as a non-playoff driver, a very, very talented race car driver. David Flanagan going to get pushed clear by his teammate Flanagan up to the middle line. Big block, and he's going to have fresh temps in Aubrey Thompson.
Yeah, near perfect block there from Flanagan. Perfect time to do that one. He comes back down in front of his teammate Haynes. He right now is in a good position to get the victory tonight. Far from over, though. 3 laps to go. Thompson fights back in the middle. Right now, Nash Brambilla probably just has to defend. As much as you want to win this race, win that big money, right now you got to think, hey, I got to make it to round number 2. Here comes Craighead. A latch-dish effort here on the top. He's leading that top. He's got a shot to springboard himself back in. We have a wreck. Brambilla turns. Aubrey Thompson up and over. Big wreck on the racetrack. The big one at Daytona. Playoff drivers involved, and that's going to bring Mike Davenport right back into this one. Overtime coming up here in the Lite Series.
Well, Aubrey Thompson on his lid. Unfortunate for him, he's not going to be able to turn it over. Just gets absolutely driven through, it looks like, from the middle lane. It kicks him in the left, gets him all out of shape. That is Nash Brambilla. But it looks like Nash Brambilla is getting pushed through as well, just all offset, and absolutely destroys him.
We're going to show it to you guys here. A big one late at Daytona with 3 to go. This is going to put us in NASCAR overtime. Just one green-white checkered to decide the fate of the drivers that will advance in the playoffs. Let's get in that chopper cam and see what happens. And you see just hard racing here. Brambilla on the back bumper of Thompson. He's getting pushed by Buys. And right there, Brock Westmoreland kind of turns Little down the track. And then it's a big stack up right here all the way through. There goes Thompson. Craighead, I mean, he tries everything he could do to avoid it. Carl Bond involved. Aubrey Thompson's practically flipping over Carl Bond right in front of Steinbach. White goes around. So does Little. Brambilla involved. Jared Haynes. Brock Westerman looks like he's going to be okay. Buys heavy damage. That could maybe take Jackson Buys out of this. A front runner to win the championship. As you see Aubrey Thompson on the deck, or on top. His hood just on the pavement here at Daytona. We're going to have to watch this back in real time from his cockpit, because what a ride it was for the 54. And, man, he really came on late here and was having a great shot and run at winning this thing. And here's Aubrey Thompson. And a lot of pavement right there, and that's all you see. Sparks and pavement, and now grass. What a horrific wreck here for Aubrey Thompson as he gets towed back to the garage here, and that'll end his night and any chance he had at winning. And get that off your screen. I'm sure not making anyone at home feel too good. A little motion sickness right there, but nonetheless, I'll tell you right now, David Flanagan is driving this truck as hard as he possibly can, and he has stayed out front here as he is your leader. Axel Smith, second. Sean Hilkowitz from the back now, and like we said, one big wreck could change this whole playoff scenario, and here's Hilkowitz in third. Westermillen's in fourth. McCullough and Tim White, they're in fifth and sixth. You got Kobe Nill in the top 10. With Asher Little, James Waring. And I'm telling you, Mike Davenport is going to get that lucky dog. And he is going to have a chance with the fairly clean race truck to get this Tire World Chevrolet to the round 2 of the playoffs. So once we rack them up here and the lights go off in this pace car, we'll go through the championship scenarios.
Just to help you out, there'll be an ELO on Nash Brambilla. Aubrey wasn't pinching as well as, I think Nash would have liked, but still should have lined up to his bumper. Jackson's just pushing for all his worth. To Nash Brambilla, pretty square. Kind of comes off him there at the end, and then as Nash gets to Aubrey, it turns him around.
Well, pace car lights are out. Here's how this championship will be decided. 10 drivers have entered. We knew Casey Sprinkle was automatically in. So it depends who's the 6 that are going to join him. As of right now, David Flanagan, Sean Hilkowitz, Josh McCullough, and Mike Davenport, according to scoring, would be in. That's 4. That's 5 total. And we'd also put in Jackson Buys, Cameron Craighead. That would leave, it looks like, Nash Brambilla on the outside looking in. And Asher Little, let's see where Asher Little actually would be in. We skipped over Asher Little, so. And Axel Smith, where's Axel Smith, is actually in second. So Flanagan and Smith and Hilkowitz, the top 3 all in the playoffs. Josh McCullough, he'd be in, as would Asher Little, as would Davenport and Sprinkle. So actually, Jackson Buys, as well as Craighead, Brambilla, are on the outside looking in. And Davenport and Buys are going to line up side by side together. 2 laps to go, and we take the green. There will not be a yellow. It'll be ran to the checkered flag. And the hopes and dreams of a championship will be decided on who moves on to week number 2, round number 2 next week at Atlanta. Flanagan will bring us back down to the green. And let's pull these belts tight, because we're going to see two wild laps here as the pace car to pit lane for the last time tonight. As the flagman shows that green flag, we're back green here at Daytona. 2 laps to go to decide tonight's winner.
And the bottom side's starting to roll here. And you see David Flanagan there on the bottom, getting a great push from Sean Hilkowitz and Axel Smith on the bottom side. Josh McCullough trying to follow, but Axel Smith making a charge here on the outside with Brock Westmoreland. Great recovery for Brock Westmoreland there on the outside line. It's going to be 2x2 entering turn 3.
Yeah, Westmoreland back up front. He's made a charge to try to steal that win here tonight. Tim White now in the top 6. He's looking for the win as well. He peeks out to the 3rd lane. No one's going to go with him. There's some drivers like Davenport. They need to make moves. He's coming here on the bottom. White flag out at Daytona.
White flag at Daytona. You see him trying to go 3 wide out back. That is Jackson Buys trying to make it work on that outside line. They're getting squirrely there in the top line. Nothing really going on the 3rd lane, but they're going to get a little bit of run out of turn 2 here. But it's all David Flanagan, Axel Smith here on the front row. The 2 green trucks making it work here on the bottom side and the middle lane. Big push on the outside from Brock Westmoreland. 3rd lane going to make a little bit of a jump. Axel Smith, oh, out of shape, still saves it.
Axel Smith saves it. We're 2x2 at the front. Flanagan and Smith are going to come off turn number 4 in a drag race. Hilkowitz, Westmoreland, nowhere to go right now. 3rd lane's going to fizzle out. Drag race, they're bumping here at the line, and it's David Flanagan of the Jack Shack to victory lane. And they're wrecking out back. What a race and a photo finish with Flanagan and Smith as the Jack Shacks are rocking. David Flanagan, the 31. An inch ahead of Axel Smith as Flanagan moves on. As does Axel Smith, Sean Hilkowitz, Josh McCullough, Jackson Buys, and I believe Mike Davenport will be the last to join regular season champion Casey Sprinkle. You see David Flanagan on your screen. He's going to get the race win. He'll be celebrating. So Flanagan, Axel Smith, Sean Hilkowitz, Josh McCullough, Jackson Buys, and Mike Davenport, who inches out Asher Little for the last spot and joins regular season champ Casey Sprinkle. So Asher Little, Nash Brambilla, and Cameron Craighead will be the drivers eliminated from the playoffs. And what a finish. We're going to go back and show you that checkered flag between David Flanagan and Axel Smith. David Flanagan having some fun here and burning them down for the Daytona faithful as he gets back to victory lane in the PGR Lite Series. That'll be a fun interview here tonight for sure. Sean Hilkowitz battled back to get to the playoff round 2. And we'll bring Sean Hilkowitz up here while he's waiting for the boot. Sean Hilkowitz, you got a copy?
Hey, what's up?
Hey man, I'll tell you what, you were on the outside looking in there late in this race. A late caution flips the race upside down, and you get not only a podium position here tonight, but you're moving on to the Championship 7 next week and a chance to continue on and march towards the title. How's it feel?
It feels good. I mean, I got damaged early on. I really just couldn't suck up to anyone, and I just knew at the end there I just had to keep it on the bottom and just hope when they wreck I can avoid it, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. I was able to follow Axel through, and then once I got to 3rd, I kind of knew that was where I need to be and stay because damage I had wasn't going to let me lead a line. But I knew I can just push Flanagan to a win and help myself out.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to win, but you also want to move on and protect yourself, and that you did there on the bottom of the racetrack. Well, hey, you got your spot next week, but we head to Atlanta for the first time all season in the next-gen car. How do you feel about your chances heading to Atlanta and trying to be the top 4 or 7 drivers next week to get to the championship finale?
I love New Atlanta. I've done a couple races there and I've always had fun. So I kind of know how that car works already. I think we did one last season and I felt like I did really good and then something else happened, but confident going in and just gonna race that one the same way I did this one.
Well, Sean, great race here tonight. We appreciate you racing with us, and good luck next week in the championship fight. Go celebrate that podium finish tonight.
Appreciate it. First one.
Sean Hilkowitz, sorry I've had some trouble here tonight with the mouse and had some settings kind of go awry here in the last day or two with the PC, but we'll try to get those rectified for next time. We're going to now bring up Axel Smith, your runner-up tonight, and have Matthew Baker take that interview.
Hey, Axel Smith, this is Mike and Matt up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, here.
Well, walk me through those last couple of laps. It looks like you got pretty out of shape a couple times from Brock Westmoreland. How'd you hang on to it? And talk to me through the rest of the race and what your mentality was going through it.
Yeah, going to the finish. That was the closest I've ever gotten to a light series finish. You know, I've the best finish I've ever gotten is third place, and I think I've gotten that like 5 times. And it's just I've been very consistent, but not gotten a win yet. And I'm still super thankful for a P2 because that coming to the line, I was that whole final lap, you could see me on the backstretch. No fault to Brock Westmoreland or the guys behind him. It was just, I mean, final lap, you're going to be pushing 5 deep or whatever, especially in the trucks. You can push them however you want. So no fault to them. That was thank you to them for not turning me because I was super out of shape. But before that, I was just, to be honest, I was kind of hanging back towards the beginning of the race, fuel saving a little bit, but towards the middle, I started actually like going up front, and I didn't even see back the replay, but that freaking massive crash that took out a lot of people that triggered the overtime. That was very fortunate for me to get around that because obviously I probably wouldn't be in this booth right now if it wasn't for it. But yeah, that was a that was a pretty good race. I'm just gonna say that was a pretty fun race, very eventful. So it was a pretty good show.
Great show indeed, and the luck is on your side tonight. You know how the super speedway racing goes. You can have all the skill to get up front, and it was evident this season that you put yourself in a position in the points to advance on, and now you're second here tonight, advancing on to the next round, almost pushing to a win. Great job, Axel Smith. Anyone like to thank or shout out?
Thank you to my family if they watch this in the morning. Thank you to you guys for broadcasting. Sorry. Thank you to PGR eSports for putting on this amazing light series. Yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Axel. Hope you can improve to one position better next week at Atlanta, and hope to see you in victory lane.
Thank you.
Heard from Axel Smith there, your runner-up in a photo finish with David Flanagan. And we'll bring the man of the hour up to the booth. It's going to be David Flanagan, your race winner here tonight from the Jack Shack. And all sorts of mess up here with the mouse tonight. I'm going to get back here in the broadcast booth. David Flanagan, you got a copy?
Yes, Mike, I do.
All right, man. Well, you know, I usually say it when a Jack Shack driver wins that the Jack Shacks are rocking. And tonight it's rocking on a Monday night. The 31 to victory lane and a photo finish over Axel Smith. Walk us through coming off turn 4 and the push from Sean Hilkowitz.
Yeah, man, that last restart, that bottom's been crazy all night. So I knew I was just going to stick there the whole time and either get first or second. So that was the whole plan, and luckily it ended up being first.
Well, first it was, and not only that, you're moving on to round 2 of the playoffs. So next week we'll head to Atlanta in the next-gen car. How do you like your chances there to move on to the championship 4 in a couple weeks from tonight?
It's going to be an interesting one, I think. There's going to be a lot of variables at play in that track, so But the biggest thing is just surviving. I think it was like 25 cars tonight, and they all ended up wrecking each other. So, yeah, just survive and see where it takes me, pretty much.
Well, sometimes that's all you could do. Defend some spots. Go for it when you can. You did just that tonight. See the fireworks going off in the background, and David Flanagan burning them down here for the crowd earlier when you won the race, man, and obviously some elation there here in Victory Lane tonight. But, hey, man, it's Daytona. You get the win under the lights. You move on to the Championship 7 next week. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Of course, the Jack Shack, the best team in super speedway racing. We're over everybody, and that's just a fact. That's not fake media. Trev, Jared, I'm sorry you got wrecked right there. That sucks, but yeah, just all my teammates and my friends. Of course, Bryce, Brady, Jacob, Trey, Jack, all them boys, and of course, to end it all, the broadcast and the RC. Thank you, showing up every week. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, too, for joining us and racing here in PGR and the Lite Series, man. Good luck next week, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon.
Yep, thanks, Mike.
David Flanagan, your winner here tonight, as you see that replay from just a little bit earlier, celebrating there on the front stretch. We'll bring up the final results here tonight. David Flanagan on the top of the scoring pylon. Axel Smith in second. Sean Hilkowitz, your podium finisher as well. Brock Westmoreland, great night for him, finishes in fourth. Josh McCullough is going to snag that last payout position. Tim White in sixth tonight. Colby Nill in seventh. Quentin Steinbach in eighth. Jackson Buys in 10th. And Mike Barksdale rounds out your top 10.
You got James Waring in 11th, Mike Davenport in 12th, the last playoff driver, and Asher Little, just a little bit too much damage there on the nose of the car. He'll finish in 13th. 14th, Evan Carbone. Casey Sprinkle, with that first round bye, he's still in. Nashville Billa took the EOL there at the last caution, put him outside making the playoffs, and he will not make it to the next round. Mark Vondell, 17th. Cameron Craighead, one lap down, another playoff driver out. Aubrey Thompson, Jared Haynes, Terry Wilson, Tucker McClendon, and Justin Lee Pearson round out your 23 truck field.
Yeah, and that's a heartbreak for some of these drivers that fought all year long to get into the playoffs and not make it out of round one. Asher Little, unfortunate for him. Nash Brambill and Cameron Craighead. Casey Sprinkle, man, I'll tell you what, he's happy camper right now that he won that season or that regular season championship. That's going to help get him moving on to next week as well. So 7 drivers next week will vie for the last 4 spots in 2 weeks from tonight at Talladega. So we'll head to Atlanta next week, and that is going to be a big race for these drivers. Hopefully we'll have a good crowd come out and join these Championship 7 now here in the PGR Lite Series. Well, it's another one in the books. We'll be back on Thursday night for one of our biggest races of the year, the PGR Fall Brawl, the 3rd annual one at that, and be hopefully getting 60 drivers. It'll be a heat race format on Thursday night starting all at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. For myself, Michael Triscaro, my co-host Matthew Baker, and everyone here at PGR eSports, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on Thursday night.